Hello, welcome to She. She is safe haven for Eve, where you be, become, and boast. Be who you are, become your better self, and boast about it by sharing with the world.
You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Eve Haven. My name is Nay.
And I'm Double R.
Thank you for being here. Okay, so today, Double R, let's discuss this topic. It came to my mind. Stupid is as stupid does the miseducation of us. Us being the United States.
Everyone in the United States?
No, not everyone, but the United States as a whole.
As a whole, okay.
So what made me think of it, of course, was this most recent election. And it's no secret I was devastated by the result. And the only thing I could think of is the United States as a whole, the majority of the people do not read about what is really behind some of these politicians. They're unaware of the politicians' stances. They don't know about how certain things affect all people and how things globally will affect the United States. So they vote with their ilk. They vote with the showman. We engage in short takes, outtakes, memes. We don't read newspapers like we once did because we get our cues and news from short summaries on social media. And so taking it from the Forrest Gump movie, I believe we get exactly what we deserve, and that's where we are right now. I wish we wouldn't think about education in such a way that it doesn't affect all of us. We just think, oh, I'm not bothered by it, so whatever. But because you homeschool your child or because you can afford to send your child to a great private school, what about the children that your child may interact with in the greater parts of the world? When they go to, on trips at the grocery store, at college. What's going to happen when your child engages with other children who had a poor education because you chose to vote a certain way?
And in what circumstance? You said the grocery stores.
They could be...
What other social arena do you envision the children who go to private school interacting on a social level with kids who went to an underfunded resource?
In a lot of different ways, because just because you went to a private school does not mean you're going to always be in private school spaces all the time. You might meet somebody in line at the grocery store and they're so handsome or so appealing to you that you fall immediately in love with this person. You fall for the bad guy or girl from the other side of the tracks. It happens all the time. And now that person has your heart. And what are you going to do? Shield them from your parents, from your circle of friends, not bring them around, but you love them. We see it all the time. Mm-hmm. So this person doesn't know which fork to use, or this person hasn't read Catcher in the Rye. Mm-hmm. This person has never seen a passport, let alone has one. Mm-hmm. And so the United States, to me, has grown into a country whereby you are the have, this person is the have-not, and what's in betwixt, right? Who's in the middle? And we're not educating everyone equally. We know that. We've never done that.
That's what I was about to say. Is that any different than what we've always done?
No, but it's at a different level. Like in the 50s, 60s, 40s, 30s, we knew what was at play. And then somewhere there was a revolution in the middle. And people started reading, and there was an empowerment movement, and schools were open to all, and we were integrating, and then we had our own schools, and it was just a fabulous moment of a different type of a renaissance, if you will. We were reading, and we knew some things. Now, no one is reading, and it has no barrier on what race you are. People are not reading.
Are they not reading, or they're just reading things that misinform them?
I believe both. I believe they're not reading, and I believe those who are reading things that misinform them, and I believe in that misinformation is a truth belonging to that person. So if you don't like a certain race of people, that truth is in whatever you're reading, so you believe it to be the gospel.
So the miseducation of America, of the United States, what would you say the main nut is? I guess I'm trying to figure out where we're going with this, with the main thread throughout. So you're saying that we're not reading. That's one main thread?
We're not reading.
Okay.
And let's rewind too. Not only are we not reading, we're rewriting history. So the miseducation of us, meaning the United States, in my opinion, someone like a Beyonce will be white in about 100 years.
And she not
because
already.
We're rewriting history. We're having slaves, black people from Africa who were captured, brought over here in some of the most horrible conditions, treated in some of the most horrendous ways, will be then called migrant workers. And I mean, we're doing that now.
Yeah, right.
So that's
part
of the miseducation of us, the United States.
Is it miseducation or just lies?
Both. It's both. It's miseducation steeped in lies. Because once the lie is written, I'm now miseducated. I've been lied to, but I don't even know it's a lie because I learned this in school.
Is it education or just knowledge?
I don't know what you call it, but in school they say, we're educating you. We're going to give you a diploma, a degree in education, or whatever it is. So let's just use the word education.
So let's say it's not in school. Let's say that just the general public who are listening to these lies, who's listening to the rewriting what we know history to be and what we know is the truth about history. And it's the general public, it's the mom and the dads and the aunts and the uncles and the grandfather and the grandmama who's also listening to this. The kid who's going to the schools will listen to it in school, but the people at home are also listening to it. So where's the responsibility of the general public for the education?
Well, I think the education starts at home. So if you at home are teaching your children the right way, hopefully the truth.
Yeah.
Hopefully that can be passed down orally or even in written form, whatever. At least it's passed down, right? But if you don't know, you can't teach that which you don't know. So if you're miseducated or lied to, you're going to teach lies. Lies beget lies. So we'll all be walking around here like we're blind men, leading other blind men.
And not everybody fall in the ditch?
Everyone. So I believe that's where we're headed.
So if it's not a matter of if, America is being lied to on a grand scale about many things. Where does that lead us internationally? Well, no, not even dealing with internationally. How does that impact us in America? Because there are lies over here, but there's also the truth over here. Do you envision a clash of the two?
Truth and lies?
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's always been a clash between the truth and the lie, the right and the wrong.
And how do you see that clash coming?
I don't know yet, but generally when those type of clashes occur, it's a war. I mean, we've done that whole educational clash. There were PWIs, predominantly white institutions, and HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. We've done that clash. We've had the Negro Leagues and the big leagues. We've had these separations. We still have them in churches, for the most part. We've had different restaurants and hotels and neighborhoods. We still have those things today. So all of these different clashes have occurred and are still occurring. But one of the things that I wanted to touch upon in this topic is it is the advent of social media which enhances the miseducation. It is also how fast the news now spreads. Whereas it may have taken years, it's taking a nanosecond for that lie to get across the globe. And for people all over the world to now believe the lie. So are we going to limit it to the United States? I say no. But for the sake of this conversation, from Maine to Miami, that lie will travel in 2.9 seconds. And thousands of people in between will believe
that. So that leaves 50% of the people who know better. Right.
But the sad part is when an old man dies, this is an African proverb, a library burns to the ground.
Yeah.
So if only 50% of Americans know the truth, when they die, if it has not been passed down,
if they don't pass it down,
the truth is dead.
Right. The truth is dead if they die before the clash happens.
The clash is currently happening. It's occurring as we speak.
And
it's the magnitude of the clash.
Okay, so how do you think that will ramp up at some point?
I do.
In what
the
sense?
browner this country gets, the browner it gets.
Well, if some people have it their way, and I say some people, that won't happen.
You can't stop the browning.
Well, they say that the winds of change is blowing, and you can't stop it. That's the sentiment of a lot of people. But I'm just saying that doesn't mean that they won't try to stop the winds of change.
They've been trying. Oh yes, they're gonna try.
So when they try even harder, how is that going to look? What form do you think that's going to take? Because there will always be a war between right and wrong, bad and evil, truth and lies. And there's always a clash. Some clash happens silently. They fight it out with words, with articles. One article will generate another article, and so on and so forth. Sometimes they fight it out just by policies, and the policies, you have one policy 1 year, 2 years later you have a different policy, and sometimes they fight it out. Sometimes they fight it out with real war.
Yes.
In the streets.
Yes. We've been there.
Yeah, we've been there. And are we headed there now?
Yes.
I saw a clip of something. I think it was on YouTube. It was discussing where we headed and how the people who were not successful in the election because the stakes were so high. What are they doing behind the scenes? And I thought that conversation was interesting. And where are we headed? Because you are right about one. You're right that this country is being led down a path with lies, with a lot of people. Now, when we first, tell you the truth, when I first heard or started really paying attention to this particular group, starting with an M, when I started paying particular attention to that group, I really thought it was just, honestly, misinformed, poor, mainly white folks. That's what I thought. Fast forward, you have billionaires, millionaires, tech people all behind this person with the M. So now I'm thinking, okay, so now you have real money pushing out lies, who owned a lot of stuff.
That's right.
Have influence over a lot of people. Have influence over the government. You have that side over here. And then you have this side, billionaires, millionaires, who have a lot of influence over other people. So really, it's going to be a war among the titans. Yeah. So to speak. Now, the foot soldiers would be the ones who actually go out and do the battle, whether it's physical or in some other way. I don't know what way it will unfold. I just know it hasn't unfolded in a way yet that we know that it's going to unfold. I just know that. But it's going to be interesting. But you're right. We are being miseducated in a lot of different forms.
But the problem isn't, in my opinion, the people at the top. The problem is how easily swayed the people at the bottom are. And I believe you're easily swayed because you think like that. You think, I don't want a group of people around me who don't speak my language. I don't want a group of people around me who speak my language, but they don't act like me. Yes, I wasn't born here either, but they're worse than me. I don't want them walking across the border. Although I walked across the border, I can't. Or my cousin walked across the border. They're coming differently. So we otherize the same people. We're the same person, but we otherize those ones. And I believe we get caught up in American separation. We get caught up in I'm better than, so I don't want these people around me. And when you are divided by biases, by outright racism or patriarchy, misogyny, whatever it is, and then you don't read, and then you're poorly educated, and then that's when you're susceptible to listen to the charlatan who's a carnival barker and who speaks loud. He's telling you, or they're telling you, the billionaire, the millionaire, the person who owns all of the businesses, they're telling you something that's appealing to you, makes you feel you're better than the others.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think both sides do that, say things that are appealing to that side.
Absolutely. But who's the miseducated? We're talking about miseducation. Yeah,
but I'm just
saying. Not just two sides telling lies.
Both of them do that. But to the point of people at the top, that's why Pepsi Cola spends so much money advertising. Because they know that they can convince people to drink Pepsi through their advertisement, through whatever their lies are, however they generate their interest in Pepsi, they know that. And so the people at the top they tap into whatever is there, the racism, the othering, whatever is there, they tap into that. And that's how they miseducate.
Yeah, but you have to first be susceptible to be miseducated.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. They tap into it.
I don't think I have been miseducated. I think I'm aware enough to say something about that is fishy. Let me ask a question or two. Let me look at this person or this thing that they're doing with an eagle's eye, and then let me draw my conclusion. You hear people all the time say, do your own research. If you ask a person a question, whatever the question is, and they give you an answer and it makes no sense, and then you say to them, well, that can't be true because thus and so happened, and then they say, well, you do your own research.
Yeah,
they cannot then follow up.
If I'm convinced that what I say is right, or what I'm hearing is right, or if I'm convinced, and it's probably something they've tapped in me, that's already there. All they're doing is confirming what I already believe.
Right.
What I believe anyway. So if I'm convinced of that, I'm going to come up with some kind of rationalization that still makes me seem right, because I want to be racist.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It makes me feel good to call somebody out of their name.
Exactly.
It makes me feel good to say you're trash. And it makes me feel good to say that you don't belong here because you didn't come in the front door. Well, you didn't come in the front door either. Name one of you that came in the front door.
Exactly. So where's your proper education?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We are so miseducated and, dare I say, stupid at times.
That just seems like such a refined word.
Stupid is better. Listen,
I'm okay for. You know how I feel about stupid, so
I'm okay for a harsher word because that's where I am at.
I want you stupid.
So then, what would you say?
I don't know, but it doesn't seem to. That word miseducation does not. Lie doesn't even seem to hit the mark. I don't know what it is. But those words just doesn't seem to hit the mark. Help me come up with a word that hit the
Well,
mark.
I don't know the word, but I love Lauryn Hill, and she had an album said The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. So this is the miseducation of us, the United States. So whatever the word is,
we got to come up with a word that really hit that mark. Of miseducation just seems so educational.
Yeah, but
doesn't it?
It does. But if you think about the school system, what are they learning there? They're banning books. Let's start with cursive. Okay, cursive is out the window.
Yeah.
I don't know what this new math is, but 1 + 1 is 2 all day.
Yeah.
Now you gotta damn near do long division to get the answer for 1 + 1.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
When all my life it was 1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah.
We didn't have to go through all of these steps to get the answer. What makes this new way the better way? It's time consuming and confusing.
It's not the better way.
That's my point.
But it's the way that they have decided that's what they're going to use.
Why?
And
to eliminate a lot of people.
That's what I was about to say.
So we're miseducated.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Politics. That's what I'm saying. Miseducated.
While probably funding someone who came up with this new way and giving them millions of dollars to do so.
They do it every day.
But that's my point.
They do
so
it every
we're
day.
lining the pockets to miseducate the children.
You know what? I'm going to do some research on that because we got to come up with a better word.
While you're thinking of the word, we're going to close this segment out, okay? But yeah,
maybe somebody would come up with a better word to hit the target of lying to the public, miseducating the public. What's another word? Bamboozled.
Bamboozled is a great word. But now, because the students are miseducated, they don't know the meaning. Okay. But you understand my point.
No, I do. That's a great topic.
Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this channel, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Eve Haven. I am Nay.
And I'm Double R. And we'll see you the next time.